Steve is able to clean his entire house in 3 hours. If his wife Jennifer helps, the house can be cleaned in 1 hour and 15 minutes. How long would it take Jennifer to clean the house by herself? For word problems involving rational equations, it is often helpful to use a table in order to develop the equation. For a rate of work question, such as this one, construct a table to represent the following for each individual and for working together. One column will have the time required, one will have the fraction of the job done per unit time, and one will have the fraction of the total job done. Set up an equation by setting the sum of the fractions of the total job for each individual equal to 1. In this case, the unknown variable is the time taken for Jennifer to clean the house by herself. Setting up our table, we have a row for Steve, for Jennifer, and for working together. The first column will be the time taken in hours. For Steve, it takes 3 hours. The time taken for Jennifer is our unknown variable. And the time taken together is 1 1/4 hours. And we'll write that as an improper fraction, 5/4. For the next column, we'll look at the fraction done in 1 hour. If it takes Steve 3 hours to do the entire house, each hour he will have done 1/3. For Jennifer, each hour will correspond to 1/x, and working together, the reciprocal of 5/4, 1/5/4, which is 4/5. For our final column, we want the fraction done in 5/4 hours. Note this is the total time working together. For Steve, he does 1/3 of the job each hour. So in 5/4 of an hour, we multiply 1/3 times 5/4. This means he will have done 5/12 of the job in total. For Jennifer, she does 1/x per hour. We multiply that by 5/4, giving us 5/4x as the total amount or fraction of the job that she does. And working together, we multiply 4/5, which is the amount done in 1 hour, times 5/4, and of course this gives us 1, corresponding to 100% of the job being done. We then use our final column here, the fraction done in 1 1/4 hours, adding together the fractions done by Steve and Jennifer and making it equal to 1. We now have a rational equation. In order to solve a rational equation, we'll multiply both sides by a common denominator. In this case, the lowest common denominator between 12 and 4x is 12x. Multiplying the entire equation by 12x, for the first term, 12x times 5/12, the 12 cancels out, leaving 5x. For the second term, 12x cancels out with 4x, giving 3, which multiplied by 5 gives 15. And finally, on the right side of the equal sign, 12x times 1 gives 12x. We then have to move all terms with x to one side of the equation. I will move the 5x over to the right side by subtracting 5x from both sides. This gives a result of 15 equals 7x. We would then divide both sides by 7, giving a result of x equals 15/7. 15 over 7 is equal to 2.14. This means it would take Jennifer about 2.14 hours to clean the house by herself.